Join me for behind the scenes look at the Beluga Habitat during Inside Look 2023.
We do get a lot of diversity with this department. We're the only department that takes care of both patients and humans. So we do get a lot of variety. Patients are whales and dolphins, and the seals and walrus. We have people that live here all over the place. And we actually have 4 walruses. I mentioned there are 2 belugas. We have 4 walruses as well. We're one of only 4 facilities in the U.S. that's capable of housing walruses. So we absolutely love showing these guys off. And we're actually the only facility that has a successful walrus breeding program right now. Alright, so we're going to walk up this driveway. I'll wait here for just a second. But this is our crane access driveway. When beluga whales get moved, if they were to get moved, we would be able to move them using a crane in this driveway. So it is kind of an undertaking. We would have a transport box, so it's just a box full of water. We would have the whale in a stretcher. You guys will get to see that stretcher a little bit. And then we're able to just use the crane to kind of lift the whale up in the stretcher and then move it over the wall and then lower it down in the water. So it's quite an undertaking. I've never seen it in person, but yeah. Alright, so we're going to walk up this driveway here. Out here. So that white thing is one of the favorites of the belugas. That green, I don't know how to describe it. This green thing is a favorite of one of our walruses, Cora. She really likes to hold it. She also likes to hold it with her little flips, so you can see her holding it while she's kind of swimming around, which is super cute. We can also use the bubbles. Whales are not a fan. Walruses are more of a fan. But we are constantly thinking of ways to enrich their lives. So with the bubbles, sometimes it's well received and sometimes it's not. So with the bubbles, they weren't really a fan. But with this thing, or even the duck, they really, really like it. So it's just kind of hit or miss. That's part of the fun of it, is trying to be creative and come up with things that they will enjoy. They also really like that bowling ball too, so they will, yeah, they will put it in their mouth and then spit it out really, really fast. So
Belugas one?
Yeah. Yep. So we have one that floats and one that sinks. It's kind of a gamble on which one we put in the pool, but we don't want to put the one that sinks in there because then somebody has to get it.
That was my question.
Because they won't retrieve it. But with the one that floats, they do really like to spit it out. We really can only use it on habitat because we used it back here, and Oliver spat it at the wall really fast, so we were worried about the paint on the wall cracking. But out on habitat, there's more than enough room inside. All right, so you guys can walk up to our windows here. You can see we do have some enrichment stuff in there at the moment. So we have that white box thing that they do seem to enjoy interacting with. We also have our kelps in there, so that green thing right there, they really love that. They love to drag it around on their tail flukes. They'll carry it around with their heads. They will use their tail flukes and throw it, and then they'll pick it up with their head, and then they'll throw it again with their tail flukes. They really, really like it. So they are both back here. It's kind of hard to see them. That would be Nunavik, that's coming up right here under the green kelp, and then Oliver's over on the other side. You can tell the difference mostly because Oliver's a lot big, or Nunavik's a lot bigger than Oliver. So Nunavik weighs 2,400 pounds and Oliver only weighs about 1,700. And what I'm doing right here is I'm tracking if they're engaging with their enrichment. So this is kind of something that we're doing because we are having an animal care specialist walk through here every couple of minutes. So we're kind of taking advantage of that because so that we can track what they're playing with, what they're not playing with, when they're playing with it, and we can kind of go off of that. So we can use that knowledge so in the future we can be like, they really, really enjoyed this toy, so we can give them this. Or we can be like, well, this toy's not really a hit, so maybe we won't use it so much in the future.
He's got the blue kelp on his tail.
Yeah, so they really enjoy that. Alright, so next up we're going to walk through this hallway. There are seals over on the left, but we're just going to keep walking, so we can look at the seals as we go, but we're not going to stop to look at the seals. Alright, so we're good to go. We have two seals in here right now. So turtle is actually one of the oldest seals ever. He's 32 years old. Oh wow. So he's actually the second oldest. The oldest being Jessica, who's 34 years old. Alright, so we can keep walking down the hallway. And I'll open up the stretcher. I was talking a little bit about moving belugas. This is how we move. So this is the stretcher I was talking about. They have little holes for hookers to go into. You can see. Size stretcher. We also have our target pools right there. That is a training tool that we can use. So at the very, very basis of our training, we're able to ask them to touch the end of their snout to that target pole, and then we're able to move that target back and forth, and they'll follow it for like shaking down or up and down for a GPS, in a circle for like hula behavior, and we can kind of build off of that. They are constantly learning. Training is a lifelong process, so a lot of people ask how long it takes to train them. There's not really a definitive answer for that, because it is a lifelong process. They're constantly learning new things, new behaviors. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna keep walking down this hallway. We're gonna walk up your dive locker. We do dive all of our own pools. So we need obviously very safe wetsuits to do that, because our pool is about 55. Our water's about 55 degrees, so it is very, 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 very chilly. It's perfect for the animals that we have here, but we definitely need thick wetsuits because it's not super comfortable for someone like me who makes it absolutely 0 degrees outside. But we're about to walk into our fish house here. We're just waiting for Baxter to finish up there, but I'm going to point out some of our animal diets and show kind of the area that we use every day to break out all the fish that we need for our animal diets. So there is somebody that comes in at 5 a.m. every morning. It rotates. I was on it today. So for fish house shift, like for example, I got here at like 4:45. And essentially got everything ready, caught all the fish, put it all in the buckets, and got it ready to go. And then it also entails a lot of cleaning, because we are very meticulous about how clean our fish kitchen is, so it did entail a lot of effort. Alright, so you guys walk with me this way. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so this is our fish house. So I was talking a little bit about how this works, but these are the sinks that we would use to thaw our fish. So in the morning, we put all the fish in the sinks, we turn the sinks on, and then we get everything set to go. So these are all of our diets too. So for example, Garfield, he's our big male walrus. He gets 73 pounds of food a day, and you can see it's broken into 3 buckets. So he gets an AM, a noon, and a PM bucket. You can see also that it's broken up by species of fish. So he gets 1 pound of herring, 7 pounds of capelin, 13 pounds of clams, and 3 pounds of squid in just his AM bucket. And that way we're able to know exactly, well, pretty much approximately how many calories they're getting in each and every bucket and every day. Because we know how many calories in herring, how many calories in capelin, clams, and squid. You can also see those red numbers up there. Those are the total amount of food we go through in a day. So we go through 6 to 7 pounds of herring in a day, for example. We also, you can see our whale diets right there, and we also have our harbor seals. So you'll notice the harbor seals get less. Our biggest harbor seal weighs 320 pounds, and Garfield weighs 3,200 pounds. He's a little bigger. But yeah, and then also something that I think is super cool. All of our buckets are color coded, so we do have different color combinations for every bucket. So, for example, this bucket would be whose? Garfield. Yep. So this is Garfield's and bucket. I know it's an and bucket because it just has one little ring of tape here. The new buckets will have 2 little rings of tape, and the PMs will have 3. So it's really good. Easy way to keep organized. It's also super fun. So for example, Garfield's color is purple because one of our animal care specialists has worked with him for 22 years, and her favorite color is purple. And they have a very special bond, and he's also her favorite animal. So it is only fitting that she's known him the longest out of all of us. So it's only fitting that his color should be purple. All right. So we're gonna walk out this way. You can also see this is our freezer and this is our cooler. But we're gonna walk out this way, and then we're gonna go around into that wall. Alright, so unfortunately this is where we say goodbye. But do you guys have any last questions before we do that?
No, thank you for the talk.
No? Oh, of course. Thanks for coming to see us. This is our exhibit, so you guys will be able to see our harbor seals are over on the right, and then our beluga habitat, they're hanging out in the back right now, so you might not be able to see them. But our beluga habitat is over on the left, and we also have our walrus habitat is kind of down the hall. But yeah, thank you so much for coming to see us today. Thanks, CJ. Really cool. Thank you. Of course.
By the time I had seen it, we were literally already behind the scenes.
Oh, of course.
We were already behind the scenes.
Oh, of course. Have a great day.
Sorry. I interned at the show this summer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, love her.